We spend a massive chunk of our waking lives at work. Naturally, that environment dictates our overall quality of life. But modern workplaces are facing a crisis. From junior staff to senior leadership, teams are struggling with chronic stress, apathy, and burnout. Yet, within the exact same firm, a strange paradox exists. Two people can perform the same tasks: drafting plans, calculating structural loads, or balancing spreadsheets. One counts the minutes until 5 p.m., exhausted by the grind. The other is fulfilled, resilient, and energized by the day. Yale researchers discovered the difference between these two employees isn't the work itself. It is the underlying mental framework they use to view their tasks. Recognizing and altering that mental framework allows you to escape the burnout trap and reclaim control of your daily experience. Psychologists map our orientation to work along a spectrum, starting with the baseline mentality, viewing work as a job. In this state, work is a transactional chore. You put in the time, endure the shift, and your reward is the paycheck. Because this motivation is strictly extrinsic, relying on outside rewards, workers in this mindset are vulnerable to exhaustion when the daily grind gets tough. Moving along the spectrum brings us to an intermediate stage, the career. Here, you view your work through the lens of advancement. The primary focus shifts toward achieving prestige, securing promotions, and climbing the corporate ladder. While chasing a career provides clear goals, it leaves your mental well-being at the mercy of external validation. If a promotion is delayed or status is denied, the lack of recognition creates deep distress. The final state on this psychological spectrum is the calling. In this mindset, work becomes an end in itself, not a means to a different end. A calling involves intrinsically fulfilling work. It connects your routine tasks to a larger purpose, allowing you to see how your labor makes a tangible difference to the world. A calling is not a specific job title, and it is not reserved for nonprofit workers. It is a mindset. This internal, intrinsic motivation acts like an emotional shield. It insulates you against external workplace stressors and bolsters your resilience. If you currently feel unfulfilled, how do you move toward a calling without quitting your company? The answer lies in a psychological concept called job crafting, specifically cognitive crafting. This is the active process of changing your perspective on routine responsibilities. For a designer, cognitive crafting means transforming the act of placing walls into creating spaces that enhance well-being. For support staff, reframing a spreadsheet means ensuring the financial health of an ecosystem that keeps families fed and drives innovation. Job crafting proves we do not have to be passive participants. Every employee has the power to be the architect of their own daily experience. This calling mindset works because it addresses the underlying psychology of our needs, what researchers define as the arc of a career. This framework centers on three innate psychological needs: autonomy, relatedness, and competence. When you connect your daily tasks to a larger, meaningful purpose, you satisfy these psychological requirements at once. Fulfilling these needs protects your mental health and acts as a primary defense against burnout. This creates a happiness advantage. It provides the emotional resilience required to navigate tight deadlines, difficult clients, and high-pressure projects without breaking. Shifting to a calling orientation transforms a productivity strategy into a vital act of self-preservation in the modern work environment. Before you leave work today, look for a minor adjustment that can shift your outlook. Look at your corporate job description and rewrite those tasks to reflect the purpose they serve to others. Ask yourself the question at the core of your work: why do I do what I do? When you find your unique way to make a difference, you ensure that no matter how hard you climb, your ladder is leaning against the right wall.